Do you want to build muscle after soixante? Forget the idea that everyone needs centigrams of protein. This number does not apply to everyone. Science is clear. After 60, your daily requirement is around 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, and a bit more if you do weight training. In other words, a person weighing 70 kilograms should aim for about 70 to 85 grams per day, not a magic number the same for everyone. And another inconvenient truth, mushrooms are not a bomb of protein. 1 cup provides about 2 to 3 grams, not 12 to 15 grams. We love them for their minerals and practicality, but they are not a protein pillar. In this video, I will show you 4 canned foods that really help you reach your quota, including 2 plant-based options, with simple combo ideas. At the end, I give you the ultra-common trap to avoid when eating your proteins. Hint, it's salty, very handy, and it hinders your progress. Spoiler, we start with safe and economical options, then move up to number 1, the easiest to find. The essential basics, and 2 big myths to correct. Myth number 1, sardines are low in protein. False. According to reference tables, canned sardines contain around approximately 23 grams of protein per 100 grams, depending on the product and draining. That's solid. The goal is not to beat sardines at all costs, but to intelligently assemble several canned foods to reach your daily target. Myth number 2. 10 eggs equals 50 to 60 grams, so I did the job. Eggs help, but the key is distribution. 25 to 35 grams of protein per meal work well for seniors, and the quality of amino acids. You will see how to easily achieve this with various canned foods. We start with 2 simple pillars: canned beans, vegetable economical filling. Proteins, approximately 15 grams per cup, e.g., cooked black beans. Advantages: fiber, satiety, stable blood sugar, magnesium and potassium useful for neuromuscular function. The good habit: rinse with water to reduce sodium and combine with a leucine-rich source, fish, poultry, dairy products, for a complete amino acid profile. Quick example, breakfast. 3-ingredient bowl equals 1 cup rinsed beans, plus canned tuna, plus tomatoes/peppers, a drizzle of olive oil and lemon. Approximately 35 to 40 grams of protein depending on brands. Why? Because beans are ultra-practical and inexpensive. They do not always match animal products in protein density, but they quickly fill the gap when paired well. Canned plain tuna. Proteins, typically approximately 23 to 26 grams per 100 grams drained. A small light skipjack can often provide 18 to 20 grams. Advantages: B12, selenium, iodine, complete proteins ideal for stimulating muscle protein synthesis. Safety: prefer light skipjack tuna, less mercury than albacore, and vary fish types throughout the week. Authorities recommend alternating species with low mercury. Quick example, dinner 10 minutes. Tuna beans arugula. 1 drained can of tuna plus 3/4 cup rinsed beans plus arugula plus red onion plus olives plus balsamic vinegar. Approximately 35 to 45 grams of protein. Senior tip: aim for approximately 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal, e.g., lunch plus dinner, and supplement breakfast with 15 to 20 grams. It's often more effective than relying on just 1 meal. What do we do with mushrooms? I know, you see them everywhere in muscle lists. Honest message, keep them as a health boost, micronutrients, umami flavor, not as a major source of protein. 1 cup equals about 2 to 3 grams. Use them to increase the volume of the dish without making it heavy, and pair them with tuna or beans or poultry or eggs to strengthen the plate. Breakfast idea: 2 egg omelet plus ½ cup cottage cheese plus sautéed mushrooms, spinach. Approximately 25 to 30 grams of protein in 7 to 8 minutes. The salty trap that ruins your efforts. Teaser: many seniors mix their proteins with ultra-processed, very salty side dishes. You probably know what I mean. Result: sodium skyrockets, water retention, and we move away from cardiometabolic balance. Remember that a single package can easily approach 1,700 milligrams of sodium if you eat it all, which is almost a whole day's worth. I will show you what to avoid and what to replace it with in the following. What you should do starting today. 1. Calculate your target. Weight, kilograms, times 1.0 to 1.2 grams, a bit more if you train. 2. Distribute into 3 meals, 25 to 35 grams each. 3. Pantry check. Add 2 to 3 cans of light skipjack tuna and 3 to 4 cans of beans. 4. Try tonight the tuna beans arugula bowl. Tell me in the comments, what is your daily target and what canned goods do you already have at home? And if you want, I can give you a 7-day plan based on these 2 pillars. You have already discovered 2 pillars: beans, vegetal, economical, and tuna, animal, complete. But this is nothing compared to what's coming, because now we're entering the top 2, the most effective canned foods for rebuilding muscle after 60 years. And the best part? They are affordable, easy to find, and last for months in your pantry. Canned beef, raw power, why it's a secret weapon. If you thought canned beef was a backup product, think again. A 100-gram serving of canned beef provides 25 to 28 grams of complete protein, all essential amino acids, and above all, exceptional nutritional density. Heme-iron improves muscle oxygenation and recovery. Natural creatine supports muscle contraction and endurance. Zinc plus vitamin B12 accelerate muscle protein synthesis and cell regeneration. Selenium, a key antioxidant that protects muscle fibers against oxidative stress. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Health in Aging, 2019, followed 120 seniors for 16 weeks. Those who incorporated lean beef 3 times a week gained 22% more lean mass and 28% more strength than those who relied solely on plant-based proteins. Lesson: in seniors, beef, even canned, better activates anabolic pathways, notably mTOR, the key to synthesizing new muscle fibers. How to use it without excess. Choose rinsed low-sodium versions. Drain and rinse before use if you want to reduce salt. Always pair it with potassium-rich vegetables to balance the sodium/potassium ratio. Example: quick meal. Energy bowl. 100 grams canned beef, rinsed. Half cup red beans, half avocado, a few red bell pepper cubes, drizzle of olive oil plus lemon. Approximately 40 grams of protein, plus a good dose of omega-9, iron, and potassium. It is a true anti-sarcopenia meal. Canned lentils, the vegetable queen, the discreet champion of plant proteins. They are not talked about enough, yet lentils are probably the best canned food to maintain muscle in those over 60. A cup, 200 grams, of cooked lentils contains about 18 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber, magnesium, folate, potassium, and very little fat. And most importantly, they contain lysine, a rare amino acid in the plant world, essential for collagen formation and muscle repair. They have a low glycemic index, 25 to 35, which prevents sugar spikes and promotes better utilization of amino acids by muscles. They improve microbiota diversity, which optimizes protein absorption and reduces chronic inflammation, a major barrier to muscle growth. A French study published in Nutrients, 2022, followed 180 seniors for 20 weeks. The group that consumed a daily portion of lentils or chickpeas saw their muscle strength increase by 18% and fatigue decrease by 22%, with no change in physical activity. Moral: plant-based proteins are not weak, provided they are intelligently combined with other sources rich in leucine, tuna, eggs, dairy products. How to use them. Breakfast: 2-egg omelet plus half a cup of lentils plus onions plus turmeric. Lunch: land and sea salad, tuna plus lentils plus cherry tomatoes plus olive oil. Dinner: rustic soup, lentils plus canned beef plus root vegetables. 3 meals, 3 different amino acid profiles, and almost 100 grams of protein throughout the day without supplements. Bonus recipe: the reconstruction combo. Here is a simple combination that ticks all the health plus muscle boxes. Complete anti-sarcopenia bowl. Half a cup of lentils, 100 grams of canned beef, half a cup of sautéed mushrooms, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, a bit of paprika and parsley, approximately 45 grams of proteins, a low glycemic load, and an ideal sodium/potassium ratio. What you need to remember. Mix animal and plant proteins to maximize amino acids. Vary the sources: fish, meat, legumes. It's the key to sustainable muscle health. Rinse canned foods. You eliminate 30 to 40% of added salt. Distribute your intake, 25 to 35 grams per meal. More effective than taking everything at once. The trap that ruins everything you eat perfectly. Walk 8,000 steps. Take your tuna and lentils. But just one food can cancel up to 35% of your muscle synthesis. And most seniors consume it 3 to 4 times a week without even realizing it. This food seems harmless, almost comforting. It is salty, quick to prepare, often associated with your protein dishes, but it creates a metabolic reaction in your body that blocks the entry of amino acids into muscle cells. I will reveal it to you in the following. You will understand why, despite your efforts, your muscles struggle to strengthen, and especially how to reverse this invisible sabotage, the invisible trap on your plate. You pay attention to your proteins, you choose tuna, beef, beans, lentils, and yet your muscles do not respond. You feel that you are losing strength, that recovery is slow, that you are melting despite your efforts. Maybe you tell yourself, I eat well, I do some exercise, so why can't I regain muscle? The answer often lies in a single food, one that millions of seniors consume without suspicion. A super practical, inexpensive product, but disastrous when it accompanies your protein meals. These are instant noodles. Yes, those small packets that you prepare in 3 minutes with boiling water. They seem harmless, but in your body, it's a whole different story. Why do instant noodles block muscle building? A silent metabolic disaster. Instant noodles have a high glycemic index, often between 55 and 65, which causes a rapid rise in blood sugar and insulin. However, when your body faces a sugar spike, it prioritizes energy storage at the expense of muscle reconstruction. Result: the amino acids from your proteins no longer go into your muscle fibers. They are used to regulate sugar, and you reduce your synthesis of new muscle proteins by 30 to 35%. A study conducted in South Korea, Nutrition Research 2018, followed 180 seniors for 10 weeks. Participants who regularly consumed foods with a high glycemic index, including instant noodles, at the same time as proteins saw their muscle rebuilding capacity decrease by 1/3 compared to those who avoided them. Hidden fats and destructive additives. But sugar is not the only problem. Instant noodles are often pre-cooked in hydrogenated oils, in other words, trans fats. These oxidized fats disrupt the functioning of cell membranes, hinder nutrient transport into the cell, and increase chronic muscle inflammation. In other words, you're no longer nourishing your muscle, you're slowly poisoning it. And it doesn't stop there. Flavor enhancers, monosodium glutamate, maltodextrin, phosphates, disrupt your gut microbiota, which decreases your protein absorption and weakens your immune system. Do you see the trap? You think you're saving time, but your body, on the other hand, loses years of vitality. The excess salt, the silent enemy of muscle. A single packet of instant noodles contains up to 1,800 milligrams of sodium, almost the daily limit recommended by WHO. And when you combine them with already salted canned foods, tuna, beef, mushrooms, you exceed 2,500 to 3,000 milligrams without realizing it. This cocktail promotes water retention, disrupts the potassium/sodium balance necessary for muscle contraction, and increases blood pressure, which reduces oxygen supply to the muscles. In other words, you're cutting off the power to your muscle-building machine. Paul's case, or how a quick meal can destroy months of effort. Paul, 72 years old, was doing everything right. Every week, he ate tuna, eggs, and walked 5 kilometers a day. but he had gotten used to preparing his meals with instant noodles because it's easy and quick. Result: loss of 2 kilograms of muscle mass in 3 months, persistent joint pain, chronic fatigue. His doctor found nothing abnormal until his dietary combinations were reviewed. We replaced the noodles with brown rice, quinoa, and sometimes sweet potato. 4 weeks later, plus 1.8 kilograms of lean mass, 60% reduction in inflammation markers, and a renewed energy that he hadn't felt in years. Sometimes it's not what you add to your diet that makes all the difference. It's what you remove. What to replace instant noodles with. A. Cooked quinoa, low glycemic index, approximately 35. Contains 8 grams of protein per 200 grams, plus magnesium and lysine. Promotes recovery and stabilizes blood sugar. B. Whole or basmati rice. Slow energy source that does not interfere with muscle synthesis. Rich in fiber and B vitamins. C. Lentil or chickpea pasta. 20 to 24 grams of protein per 100 grams. Plant-based, gluten-free proteins, rich in iron and folate. These 3 options pair perfectly with protein-rich canned foods. Quick example: half cup of lentil pasta plus 1 can of tuna plus half avocado plus a few sautéed mushrooms equals approximately 40 grams of protein and stable blood sugar. The deadly combination to avoid at all costs. Instant noodles plus canned tuna. Instant noodles plus canned beef. Instant noodles plus canned mushrooms. These duos are metabolic traps. Glucose spike, sodium overload, systemic inflammation, and blockage of the mTOR pathway, the very engine of muscle building. If you truly want to reverse muscle loss, these mixes must disappear from your diet. What to remember: 1. Proteins are not enough. Their effectiveness depends on the metabolic environment. 2. Ultra-processed foods, noodles, sauces, salty snacks, sabotage muscle synthesis. 3. Replace these accompaniments with simple starchy foods, rich in fiber and low GI. 4. Think about sodium/potassium balance. For each salty food, add a portion of fresh vegetables. And now that you know about invisible sabotage, we'll go further. Next, I reveal to you the complete 30-day action plan to regain muscle, with the right combinations, the right timings, and above all, the scientific secret capable of activating muscle growth even without intense sports. The 30-day plan to rebuild muscle after 60 years. A new start. Now you know, it's not just what you eat, but how and with what you combine it that determines your ability to rebuild muscle. And the good news is that you can reverse muscle loss starting this month, without a gym, without expensive supplements, just with an intelligent dietary strategy. I will give you the 30-day protocol I use with my patients, a simple progressive plan that naturally stimulates muscle synthesis even after years of stagnation. Step 1. The perfect distribution of proteins. Studies on seniors confirm it. Distributing 25 to 35 grams of protein at each meal is twice as effective as concentrating everything in a single meal. This is called the balanced protein pulsation. Example over a day. Breakfast: 2 eggs plus half a cup of lentils plus 100 grams of mushrooms, approximately 30 grams. Lunch: tuna salad plus beans plus green vegetables, approximately 35 grams. Dinner: canned beef plus quinoa plus steamed broccoli, approximately 35 grams. Result: about 100 grams of quality protein spread throughout the day. This diagram continuously stimulates the mTOR pathway, responsible for the regeneration of muscle fibers. Step 2. The anabolic timing. Do you want your body to actually use the proteins you eat? Then the timing of your consumption matters as much as the quantity. Golden rule: eat a protein portion within 30 minutes after your physical activity, even light activity, brisk walk, gardening, vigorous cleaning. It is during this window that your muscles are most receptive. A study from Maastricht University, Netherlands 2021, showed that in people over 65, taking 30 grams of protein within an hour after moderate activity increased muscle synthesis by 34% compared to a meal taken 3 hours later. In other words, move a bit, then eat your dose of protein right afterward. Even a 20-minute walk before lunch makes all the difference. Step 3. The acid-base balance. Many seniors consume more animal proteins, but forget the importance of alkaline foods, vegetables, herbs, low-sugar fruits. Problem: excess metabolic acidity prevents the body from effectively using amino acids. The solution is simple. For each portion of protein, add 2 portions of colorful vegetables. Example: tuna plus green beans plus tomatoes, canned beef plus zucchini plus carrots, lentils plus spinach plus red onions. This simple rule reduces inflammation and maintains the optimal cellular pH for muscle growth. Step 4. The evening ritual. Your body rebuilds muscle during sleep, but it can only do so if it has enough amino acids available during the night. That's why dinner is the most strategic meal for the active senior. Example of a perfect dinner: 100 grams of canned beef, half a cup of lentils, half a cup of steamed broccoli, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 glass of milk or half a cup of cottage cheese, 35 to 40 grams of slow-digesting protein, release of amino acids during the night, maximum muscle repair during deep sleep. An Australian study, 2020, showed that participants over 60 years old consuming a complete protein meal in the evening had 22% higher muscle retention than those who had this meal in the morning. Step 5. The secret ingredient, heritage from Japanese tradition. What I am about to tell you will surprise you, because this technique does not rely on more proteins nor on expensive supplements, but on a natural molecule used for centuries in Japanese cuisine: HMB, beta-hydroxy-beta-methylbutyrate, a natural derivative of leucine. It is found in small amounts in tuna, beef, and certain legumes. Researchers from the University of Tokyo demonstrated that HMB directly activates the mTOR pathway, promoting muscle building even in the absence of intense exercise. In a 12-week study involving 120 seniors, dietary supplementation with HMB resulted in a 34% increase in muscle synthesis without changes in physical activity levels. And the best part, you can naturally stimulate this production by combining leucine-rich proteins, tuna, beef, lentils, plus vitamin D, sunlight, or 2 eggs per day. The 30-day plan, simple and straightforward. Week 1 to 2. Initiate. Completely eliminate instant noodles and processed foods. Include in your daily menu 2 protein-rich canned foods, e.g. tuna plus beans or beef plus lentils. Add a 20-minute daily walk. Week 3. Stimulate. Increase to 3 balanced protein meals, 25 to 35 grams each. Drink more water, 1.5 to 2 liters per day, to facilitate protein metabolism. Incorporate 1 serving of green vegetables in each meal. Week 4. Consolidate. Introduce a dinner rich in slow proteins, beef or dairy products. Keep starchy foods with a low glycemic index, whole rice, quinoa, lentil pasta. Expose yourself to natural light for 15 minutes a day for vitamin D. Expected results: plus 1 to 2 kilograms of lean mass, more strength in arms and legs, better energy from the morning. You see, rebuilding muscle after 60 is nothing miraculous. It's simple science, a matter of rhythm, choices, and consistency. If you've read this far, it's because you want to become strong, mobile, and independent again. And that is the best decision you could make today. Now, I would like to know, what is the first habit you will change starting tomorrow? What combination of canned foods will you test this week? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to go further, download my 30 Days of High Protein Meals plan, with over 90 recipes, the exact timing of meals, and the best associations to naturally optimize your muscle mass. Link in the description or in the pinned comment. And get ready. Tomorrow, I will reveal an ancient nutritional strategy capable of activating dormant muscles without exercise, thanks to a simple morning habit that science has finally explained. Subscribe now. You don't want to miss this revelation. See you tomorrow on Next Age Health.